made wine before, but only from my own vines, my own muscadine grapes. But I've always wanted to order or buy some grapes to make a better wine. So we got this a couple days ago. It comes frozen and has to thaw down to a certain temperature before you use it. So I'm gonna start getting ready to use it. It's Pinot Noir, which is a red wine that I enjoy maybe more than most. I think that it would be still pretty good if you didn't get it perfect. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's just exactly grapes. Grapes and skins and seeds and juice. Don't want to get any wild yeast or anything else in there that would affect it, but it seems like it's pretty well thawed out. It might be ready to get it going, so I think this is something I'm going to start tomorrow. We'll let it sit in the house and climatize, get it to about maybe 65 degrees, and then I'll start messing around with it tomorrow and get something going. This will help us put maybe 12 bottles on the wine rack. Okay, I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and start the wine tonight. First, we gotta get things clean. New scrubby pad. Mixed up some cleaning solution today. Cleaner for making beers and wines and stuff. It's really good for making sure everything's sanitary, but especially made for that kind of stuff, and it actually is good for cleaning residue created by those things. Can't quite get it to dissolve. I've been spinning my bottle around for a lot of the day trying to get that to completely dissolve, but I'm sure it's fine. Most of it's dissolved in there. This stuff was already clean, but we just want to make it chemically clean. So when you're starting some wine, you start with some wine. I'm going to open up the package that came with the wine. They have good instructions on how to do it. I'm just going to follow their instructions. I'm going to make one change. The only thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to use these oak chips, and they are heavy toasted. This is kind of simulates the wine being stored in a barrel. So I'm going to add that to the wine. Otherwise, I'm just going to follow their instructions. So there's my yeast. And let's see what these other additives are. Fermade O. This is a nutrient during fermentation. Rouge tannin. It is a tannin to increase structure and mouthfeel. Also color stabilization. This is Opti Red. It promotes improvement in body color and mouthfeel. And Go Firm Protect. Let's see, this is a yeast nutrient during yeast hydration. So that one, let's see. That one might be something that I add to the yeast instead of to the wine must, right at first. No, it says to put all the additives into the wine must. The must being the grapes and juice mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and head down and do that. I'm going to split this between the two buckets. It can't go in just this one container because there's not enough headspace for the yeast to push up and keep it from overflowing. So I'm gonna have to split it between two buckets. Otherwise I would need like a 8 or 9 gallon bucket, which I don't even know where I would get such a thing, especially in a food grade bucket. So I'm gonna go ahead and split it, and then I'm gonna start putting my additives in. Kind of looks like most of the juice is going in the other one. So I think I'm gonna try to pour some juice back into this one. Evening up the powder in this package. I cut it exactly in half. Here's one we definitely want to be even, the nutrients for the yeast. I was thinking that I'm not going to add any water, but after seeing the volume of how much juice compared to how many grapes, I think I am going to add some water. So we got all the additives and everything in. I did add a little bit of water. Now I want to check the temperature. We want to make sure it's between 55 and 70 at starting fermentation. I know it's like 53 this morning, so I didn't want to start it today, but I think that I put it in a warm place. Yeah. Now it's 65, so that's perfect. You might be thinking, hey Todd, aren't you supposed to do that in those big glass bottles? These are called carboys, and we will be putting the wine in there later when we're ready to let all the sediment fall out of it. So you'll put it in one, let all the sediment fall out of it for really like a month, and then you would transfer all of it to another one that's clean and has no sediment, wash out the sediment from the first one. A month later, transfer it back again to the other, and that's how you clarify the wine, get it really beautiful. But right now, it's just these food grade buckets. That's where all the fermentation and everything happens. Let's go ahead and make the yeast. Yeah, that looks good if you can see it. This looks like it's just a generic Red Star wine yeast. There's so many different ones that I thought it would be more specific. It says stir it in and let it sit for 15 minutes. While we're waiting for the yeast, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the wood chips. Just cooking it in some water. Make a good lid. This is actually really cool. This steam coming out of here and blowing in my face. It actually smells like that little bit of an oak barrel flavor, or that toasty flavor that you taste sometimes in wine. I'm not sure exactly why, but you go ahead and you put a little bit of the juice in with the yeast. So that's what I've done. I'm gonna go ahead and split this into 2 glasses so we get half and half in each barrel. You might also be thinking, like I do sometimes, what about all that air? You got tons of air in there, and we're just gonna put the lid on loosely. We're not snapping it on, we're just leaving it sitting. There's the other one that's just gonna sit. We don't wanna have breezes blowing through it. We want just the looseness of it to let the CO2 out. But the oxygen right now doesn't cause a problem. The yeast actually wants some oxygen. It's later when we put it in those carboys and we're settling out the sediment that's when we don't want any oxygen in there. And I might also order some argon gas to actually put a little bit of the gas in the top of the jug to keep it from having any oxygen at all. So that's the point where you got to be careful for that. So now we just let them sit. We're going to push. They're going to bubble up some skins and seeds and stuff, and I push that down every day for 10 to 14 days, and we should be ready to do the next steps. So you'll be seeing that soon, another 2 or 3 videos from now. The sun is going down soon. Fortunately, it's been giving us a little more time each day. We've gained almost an hour now since the shortest day. So the last couple days I've been working on this goat shed. I'm trying to frame it very lightly and use metal around the edges because it's more lightweight than using wood all the way around. Not trying to make anything fancy, just something that the goats can get into, to have a place to get out of the wind, get out of the rain. So I just use little corner braces so that, again, so that I could just frame it very lightly. A lot of corner braces. It's going to be, these 2 2x4s are like skids, so we'll just be dragging it across the ground. I don't know, I might even add, like the chicken tractors, I might even put a little axle right here and a couple wheels, make it easier to move. Just when you're gonna move it, you can stick the wheels on there, move it, and pull them off if it's difficult to move. So I'm using up a lot of my just extra materials I have around. I had extra wood that I've been saving for projects like this. I used up this metal. When they delivered our roof, they used this metal almost like a pallet to put our roofing metal onto. So we ended up with 2 full sheets of just extra metal, which I've been saving for a project like this. And today I used it up. And now I'm getting into my roofing scraps from the woodshed and from the house. So that's probably what I'm going to use on the front. Well, and this side. I've got a long way to go. We are going to leave an opening on the front and maybe a door that can be closed. We'll try to show you again when it's done. Hey, it's day 3 of the wine fermenting. These are just, I'm putting little weights on the bucket lids so they don't get knocked off or anything. This is some muscadine juice we had saved from muscadines that we had in our yard in Matthews. And it might be getting too old to do anything with it. I don't know. We canned it just like you would, just like if you bought a can of juice in the grocery store. So maybe it's fine. Maybe we'll do something with it. But if this Pinot Noir goes well, then I don't think I'm going to be doing muscadine anytime soon. We're growing some muscadine outside, so I probably will do some muscadine wine in the future. But this is pretty cool. I would like to do more fine wine. But each day, at least once a day, we see that the grapes have all pushed up out of the liquid. So I'm pushing it back down in. This is called the cap, where it's really the bubbles from the fermentation, the CO2 bubbles, get all up in the grapes and cause them to rise up to the top and actually push up out of the liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and at least once a day, maybe twice a day.